And welcome back to our live National Signing Day show presented by Jimmy John's and American Family Insurance with Steve Spiewak, our national football editor. I am Steve Montoya, and we are joined on the phone live by Justin Hopkins from 247sports.com. He covers the Pac-12, and it's been a busy few hours or so lately for you, Justin. How's it going today?
It's going pretty well. There's some happy programs out there, I believe, in the Pac-12 that have had some big days.
Hey, Justin, talk to us about Adoree Jackson, kind of what you've seen of him and what he's going to bring to USC.
Well, he's one of those guys that you just label an instant impact type player. One of those guys that could come in as a true freshman and really make an impact for your program, which we've kind of seen along the college football landscape. He can play on either side of the ball, and he can do very well as a receiver, the ball in his hands, or he could do, very well as a cornerback. So, ultimately, if you're Steve Sarkisian, I think you have to take him and kind of figure out where his, best potential is and where he could help your team the most and decide how you want to use him. But, that one was very down to the wire. I think Florida was in there pretty heavy. LSU was in there, UCLA a little bit. So for Steve Sarkisian to keep him and kind of put his stamp on, being the new coach at USC and keeping one of the top players in the area, in the Los Angeles area, in the country, is very good for them and a very big boost for that program moving forward.
Justin, one of the few big fish that are remaining in the sea out there, Juju Smith from Long Beach Poly. What are you hearing? What's the latest? USC, Oregon, where do you stand with your crystal ball pick, and what's the latest buzz around John Smith?
Well, he's also, like Adoree Jackson, just another great player from the Los Angeles area. Our 24/7 Sports composite has him as the number 20 player overall in the country. He's about to announce here in the next 15 minutes, I want to say. All the latest scuttle has pointed to USC. Kind of keeping with that momentum from Adoree Jackson, I feel pretty favorably that USC is going to end up with John Smith. I think Oregon made a very, very serious run here. It might have even been the team to beat leading up to last night, but as we've seen before with signing day, a lot of surprises and things can happen. I think the Trojans are going to end up keeping Juju Smith, locally and just, throw him in there with Adoree Jackson and see what they can do next year.
Hey, Justin, later today we're going to have Alex Van Dyke. He's committed to UCLA here in studios, and he's a big receiver from the Cosumnes Oaks High School out of Elk Grove. For those who may not know much about Alex, can you describe him a little bit and what you know about him?
I really, really like this pickup for UCLA. And as you've mentioned, he's kind of flown under the radar a little bit. A lot of NorCal kids kind of don't get that exposure that maybe the SoCal kids or from other regions. I know he's a heck of a basketball player. I know he's a heck of a student. You got to love that he's going to enter the program at, maybe that 6'4", 200, 205-pound range, and be able to go ahead and just, improve on his craft as a receiver. So, I've watched him play a little bit. I've watched his film. I know his coaches are extremely high on his ability. And I am one that really likes the fact that he did play basketball. I think that does a lot of great things in terms of footwork for young men like him, specifically as a receiver and tight end. And we've seen that translate to the NFL with Jimmy Graham and some of those other guys coming from a basketball background to really excel at football. I think Van Dyke's going to be a great pickup for them, and a lot of fans are going to get to know his name in the next year.
Hey, Justin, we know it's a busy time. We'll let you get back to work. If you want to follow Justin, he's jhopkins247. We really appreciate your time, and good luck the rest of the day. And we'll see what happens with Juju Smith here in the next 20 minutes or so.
All right. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Thanks. That's Justin Hopkins of 247sports.com. Now, a couple of other California guys, one from the Fresno area, one from NorCal, are going to Oklahoma. We saw earlier with Joe Mixon, and then Quick, kind of like we were mentioning earlier today, it's a bit of a surprise going from California all the way to Oklahoma.
Yeah, we mentioned that San Diego area has been good to the Sooners in the past, but this is kind of, I guess, less charted territory for them going up to Fresno and then going all the way up to land Joe Mixon. But, it's I guess it speaks to the fact that some of these kids really are just looking at all their options. Mitch Stevens said earlier, a guy like Joe Mixon was strongly considering Wisconsin. So when you have, you have kids that are elite national talents and you have programs that are looking to compete and recruit at a national level, sometimes you have kids that end up pretty far from home. And in the case of Oklahoma, they simply do not produce enough major D1 kids to sustain the Sooners program and Oklahoma State's program. So these are programs that need to look outside their own backyard, and lots and lots and lots of programs recruit the state of California because there's, back home, there's just not enough kids in the state of Oklahoma, so they have to look elsewhere, Texas, California, Florida, wherever they can find these kids.
All right, well, moving on now, we have another guest on the phone. We're going to talk some St. Peter's Prep football.
My alma mater.
Yeah, that's right.
John, are you on the phone with us? John Hillman?
Hey, John, are you there?
We're having a hard time getting John, but St. Peter's Prep senior running back Jonathan Hillman, who today signed his national letter of intent to Boston College, was committed to Rutgers for a while, but is now heading up to Chestnut Hill in Boston. A big, bruising running back, great speed, but also great size. Boston College had a Heisman Trophy contender this year, and I wonder if that might have influenced his decision to pursue an opportunity running the football for Boston College. But we shall see when we get John on the line with us, so we will have to wait for that.
Okay, yeah, our producers are dialing up right now, and one thing we do want to break down, I want to get the exact time on when the Norcross guys are going to get at it. I don't know if we could pull up some. Oh, looks like we have.
You guys a cell phone number?
Hey, John, are you there?
No. Hi, this is Joe Frollo from USA Football. He is not here right now.
Okay. Hey, Joe. Any update?
He gave you guys a cell phone number.
Okay, yeah. Well, we'll try to get John back on the line here in a bit. Thanks. And John right now is currently playing at the USA Football event.
Yes. So today was the National Signing Day ceremony for USA Football, and then over the course of Friday and Saturday, they will be having their All-American games. I think 6 contests in total, USA versus Canada. On Friday night, I think it's the under-18 game that is the highlight of it, where all of the seniors who are signing today will be representing the United States against the Canadian team.
Yeah, and before we kind of got cut off there, we're talking about the Norcross kids committing here live on MaxPreps, and that's including Lorenzo Carter. So when that happens, we will go live to Norcross High School, several D1 guys there.
Yeah, Norcross, a lot of guys are interested in seeing where Lorenzo Carter signs, but Miles Autry, who I think the 24/7 crystal ball projects to end up at Georgia Tech, he's an explosive player. He missed some time last year and over the summer due to injury, but when you see him with the ball in his hands, Steve, he is a difference maker, and I think he's going to do really well no matter where he ends up. Like I said, Georgia Tech's the favorite, but this is not all about Lorenzo Carter. Ladies and gentlemen, Miles Autry can flat out play some football. And then Kevin Muhan, the linebacker there, who I think people expect to end up at Cincinnati, another key guy for them. And you're looking at the nucleus of a team and of a program that won back-to-back large school state titles in the state of Georgia. Yeah. So these kids won it as juniors. They entered the season with the big target on their back. They came back as seniors and they won it again.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be back momentarily when the Norcross guys get back and going. And if we can get a hold of John, we'll pull that back up later as well. And we will tweet out right away when we're going to come back on air with those live announcements from Norcross. So we're going to take a little break here on our live signing day show presented by Jimmy John's and American Family Insurance.